Happy New Year, 1862. I'm going to be rambling a bit about Grand Tactician economy, learning, reading tooltips allowed for you in this video. We're gonna try to get a grasp on what's going on in the current campaign, the modded A.O.M version. I don't think economy has changed that much in the mod though. It doesn't say anything in the mod patch notes or whatever, the files you add when playing this mod. So I think this is fairly vanilla. But anyway, if you don't like economy discussion and learning about these systems in the game, you should probably skip this one and jump ahead into the series and watch the next one, because I'll probably not unpause it for a while here now. So let's jump right into it. Here's the last month report, and it says, yeah, we increased our debt and it's up to 290 million. I can't remember how much it started on, but it was barely nothing. So we accrued a lot of debt during 1861. Not good. The economic cycle, however, is recovery. Wealth population is below average. Average of what? I wonder. Decreasing compared to previous month. All right. Oh yeah, that makes sense because we have researched the first act of printing bonds, and that decreases the population wealth by 10%. So that makes sense. Our tax revenues decreased 5 million during the last month. Is that due to the 10% less economy? 0 buildings were constructed? Yes, because I only built a fort and I think 2 depots. That's it. Total export volume, TTM, last month was 249 million. That's all right. Well, our trade balance is 1 to 2. I haven't read enough monthly reports in this game to know if this is average or like if it's increasing or decreasing. I think exports and imports tend to go up as the war progresses. Maybe a bit more than what actually is realistic, because how much did the population increase? You know, considering all the war losses, you would think that the economy was kind of booming in the north with the war production, wasn't it? Average corporate production over the last 3 months was a change of minus 50 million compared to previous month. All right, that doesn't make sense because we have ordered first 50,000 and then another 50,000 Springfield rifle muskets and some artillery. So in a way, economy should be, average corporate production should be better than before the war. But I don't know what determines this at all. So the economy is down 50 million. We lack niter, artillery, ammunition, food. That's not a lot. Especially if you check out these nice economy alerts here. There's a lot more production shortages than I tended to have at least mid and late into my Confederate vanilla campaign, 61 to 64. I have not examined these. So a background is, I started 1861 with doing absolutely nothing with Navy or economy. All I did was research the 3 militia acts, or 2 maybe. Yeah, militia act 3 and 4, 24 and 36 months. So I ignored everything with economy. All I've done is recruit troops and order new rifles, musket rifles. And just like maybe 50 artillery pieces to Napoleon. So but that's kind of minor. Yet our economy is in the drain. We owe 290 million. Our credit rating is BBB+. The surplus, well, these meters are a bit weird, but we have about, so we had a lot of surplus here back in November. I wonder why. And I mean, you can see it's kind of hard to see where the economy is going. It was stable in August and September. Our economy was stable. I guess I wasn't recruiting anything. I would think, but this is actually an increase in surplus. Like we get more money into the treasury here in early November. I don't understand it. our revenues, they've been fairly, I mean, since they shut up in mid-October. What did I do in mid-October? Nothing. I finished 3-year contracts, military contracts. I didn't do anything here, and yet we shot up from 400 to 500 plus 500 million revenues. Okay, interesting. It could be that our army upkeep. No, it's the other way around. Down means more expenditure. This makes sense. You start and then you get more and more and more army expenditures or army upkeep as the larger your army grows to. We're around 140,000 men in the field right now. Supply depots has become more expensive. That makes sense. Okay, yeah, our army was quite cheap up until mid-October, and then we started paying more and more for our increased size army. And it has actually quadrupled from 20 to 80 million supply depot costs. These are goods passing through the depots, mind you, because buildings here is the cost of buildings themselves. We built a fort before October, so I'd say from October we built to something certainly happens here around 12th October. Everything starts to change here. We double our building expenses. Is it inflation or interest rate? I can't tell you why. I mean, 2 new depots. Let's say we have between 5 and 10 depots and you build 2 new. That shouldn't double our building expenses. Interest cost, however, has gone up from 8 to 20 million. Yeah, that makes sense. Navy upkeep. Okay, we do nothing with our Navy from August till October. We do nothing from October till now. And the Navy upkeep. Oh yes, you know what we do? I retrieved a lot of damaged ships from blockading fleets, put them into harbors, and I suppose they start repairing, and you repair and you repair. But I haven't done it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. I just shoved a bunch of ships. I think that was back in October. So that kind of messed up the economy big time when I did that Navy repair thing. Although, yeah, I mean, I think what you see here is, you know what? Down is actually more upkeep. So these spikes are actually less. It looks like I'm paying more, but in effect it means I'm paying less. So here, there's a couple of spikes where I suddenly drop down and start paying almost nothing in Navy upkeep. And there's a bit of an upshot here in November. But otherwise, 177 million is about what you're paying, and then you lose. Is that when you finish repairing a ship? I have to say that the economy system is fun, interesting, deep, but it's wonky. I don't want to see those these spikes in the curve. If I retrieve, say, around 20 damaged ships from that I ignored my fleets from July until, let's say, October, and then in October I do some manual headhunting or hunting of damaged ships. I put them into port. I retrieve 100% undamaged ships and I send them out to flotillas, right? That's what I did. I don't want to see this. I want to see one huge spike in repairs that slowly comes down. It doesn't fit the reality of what's actually been going on. That's the problem I have with the economy system. It feels like all these fancy graphs, they're doing something else than what's actually going on in the game. I don't think they've gotten it quite right yet. Okay, I just mentioned that the only subsidy I've been kept going is full military. Not that I can afford more fancy weapons. I put my nation in debt, as Lincoln, heavily into debt by increasing the army size and modernizing their weapons. All right, that's another thing. Did I have to order 250,000 new Springfield musket rifles? I don't think you do in this mod. They are Wunderwaffe, super weapons in vanilla. You go from 250 range to 400 yard range and better accuracy. That's an insane difference. In this mod, I'd say range and accuracy and fire rate, you get maybe a 20% efficiency increase from the muskets to the rifled muskets. I'm not going to show you the stats, just take my word for it. I mean, you don't have to do that, and a bunch of 50,000 cost around $20 million. So you could remove around $40 million from this, and a couple of millions in interest, let's say 50 million, that are weapons that I didn't have to purchase. I probably didn't have to purchase like the 50 Napoleon artillery pieces either. But that's about what I couldn't have done if I chosen to. I guess I could have kept my army a bit smaller than 146,000. But I did hold off on large-scale recruitment during 12 and 24-month contracts, and only in October, when I got the 36-month contracts, I did start recruiting heavily. I'd say around 50,000 new recruits were not drafted, volunteered into our increased size army, new modern army. We are 3 days away from Print Notes 2, which should give us another 60 million per year. So we have 60 plus 60 million newly printed money every year. Right. That's 120 million. That's about 10 million per month. You don't get a hefty lump sum at the beginning of the month or the year, which I appreciate. It's kind of trickled into the revenues. But that's weird though. You don't have you should have a revenue post that says like newly printed money, shouldn't you? Tariffs. Wait. Tariffs they shot. I wonder what happened the 12th of October, because this is so weird. Tariffs just shot up here and they've been kind of increasing here. Shouldn't that mean like our economy is getting better? I guess we're importing more goods now, and that's under the hood, out of my control. I can't decide how much goods the industries, the privately owned corporate businesses on the map are using. This may lead to lower corporate profits and higher inflation. The more tariffs I charge, the higher inflation. But yeah, but what is inflation in this game? Is it interest rate? No. Okay, anyway, this looks good from the government's perspective. We are increasing our income through tariffs. Sales taxes, that's actually gone again. What the hell did I do the 12th of October? I think I recruited 50,000 or so, 40,000 3-year contract soldiers. That's what you're seeing here. How can that affect the sales tax? No, sorry, the land sales took a hit early November. I can only imagine that is me saving for the evening, closing down the game, and then reopening the day. I don't think this is actually. It doesn't mean anything. It's just the graph should just go on straight here. So anyway, we're looking for an income tax and a corporate tax. If anything is going to change this budget, I think that's going to be it. And that's further down into the policy tree. The Tariff Act allows higher tariffs. Shit, this is the one I should have done. 50% tariffs. More lucrative imports tax for the government. And at the same time will protect the nation's own industries because there will be fewer competing products on the market. Relations with Europeans, 10%, minus 10. I don't care about the relations with Europeans as long as they don't get into the war. So, okay, 50% tariffs. We now have 30%, and that's our largest income. Okay, that probably would have been better than printing new money, but I was desperate and I didn't read. All right, so in about a month, we will have a shit ton of new inflationary, lower public wealth money, trash fiat currency, and we will also have an increased tariff of 20%. So we will get more incomes. All right. Huh, is that all I want to say? That's like nothing. So happy new year. Trade warfare is, let's say, 40 to 80 million, so it's a 1-to-2 ratio. The Confederacy is losing more money than the Union on the trade warfare. However, let's say it's a 40 million difference. Take note here. What is the Navy upkeep for the Union compared to the Confederacy? Can you tell that we are paying around 110 million more in Navy upkeep? And we're making the Confederacy lose 40 more million in trade losses. So we're actually losing a trade war, if I know what I'm saying here, which I don't know if I am. I guess maybe long term, it's a good thing to do this, but like, am I using too many ships in my blockading navies? Because I have basically all my ships out. Let's examine if we can get, like, how efficient is a blockade. I think I've seen, like, ooh, you blockade. Oh, this one isn't even blockading. What? What the hell? All right. Oh, it was only, I don't know why this went off blockading. I didn't tell him to. My New York fleet should be about done now. I forgot about this. Lower Bay. I'm not gonna remember that. Let's call it New York. Otherwise, I mean, it's just because I recruited it in New York fleet. All right. These guys are going to be sent on blockade orders all the way. Yeah, I did this fall 61, so they've been sitting in month uselessly for about right here. Boom. So one thing I could do is go through my fleets and move ships from blockading fleets into port and see if that would lower my Navy upkeep substantially, because 190 million in Navy upkeep is very expensive. But all our armies are, just to make an 1862 New Year's overview, we're all in winter camp. There's nothing going on with the armies on the map, as it should be. That's a good sign that the AI knows how to deal with the winter conditions. And I think you can see a bit of supply depot and army upkeep cost stabilizing due to the winter here. Yeah, we are paying as much as the Confederacy in army upkeep, which makes sense because our armies are the same size. That should be more painful for the Southern economy than the Union economy. How about supply depots? Yeah, the Confederacy paying a bit less than we are. But that's a trend. And in November, December, we are hovering around the same here, around 70, 80. Okay, so that makes sense, huh? Recruitment should have gone down. So, look, the Confederates made a supreme recruitment effort here in November. It shot up to 80 million recruitment cost. I guess now it's just replacements for like illnesses, sicknesses, and desertion. Recruitment cost estimated per year. These costs arise when new units are raised and existing units are refitted. The costs depend on the prices of weapons, uniforms, and bounties. Alright, here's the thing. Remember how you see all the graphs changing in around 12th October? Nothing when it comes to recruitment, which is weird. I definitely made a recruitment drive somewhere. All right, yeah, okay. You see a bit of a curve here, increase from October up to November. Yeah, okay, so this is what you're seeing from around 7 up to 31 million. And then once the brigades are recruited and you're just replacing attritional losses, it shuts down back to the same. Okay, so it's a bit weird. Let's say we have around 100,000 troops here in the field. You recruit more and it costs more. Now you have a larger army and you're replacing more attritional losses because your army is 50% or 1/3 larger than before. Shouldn't 7 become like 10? This is an exceptional cost, 30 million recruitment cost. But my 140,000 men army should not cost as much as my previous early fall 100,000 army. Just saying, just saying. Told you, lots of talk. Unemployment, 5%. I think it's about the same. Maybe the South had less. Current unemployment rate of the nation. Unemployment can be reduced by helping corporations to settle. Employment influences private wealth positively. All right. So better industry, less unemployment, better public health. Makes sense? However, if you recruit soldiers, shouldn't unemployment go down? Just saying. They're in the army, it's a job. I don't know. I wonder if you auto-manage finances. If checked, the president's cabinet AI will take care of your nation's finances during the game. So I wonder, I mean, since you can't do anything yet. Oh yeah, you can adjust the tariffs and the subsidies. I guess that's what that means. Because you can't do anything with the finances tab on the left here. That's just results. All you can change here is the funding, and I maximize tariff and sales tax. Obviously, I need more incomes, revenues, because I have a deficit in the surplus. I could save 12 million per year from military. I think I decided to go for Sharps rifles because they're so usy. Lincoln wants Sharp rifles. We don't have them yet, do we? Here they are. Oh, we're very close. 3.5 million. Here's the thing. I ordered 3,000 Mississippi rifles, and they're not as good as they are in vanilla. They have a high range. That's it. Low rate of fire, mediocre accuracy. So Mississippi rifles aren't the godsend weapons of the vanilla in this mod I'm playing. I suspect the Sharps rifle will be the same. But yeah, the end of the story is I ordered 3,000 of them, which is one large brigade, and it would take 8 months to build them, produce them. So if it's the same with the Sharps rifles, they're not. It's going to be 3.5 million subsidies that I pay for a very small increase in total army efficiency. I think the way to go is maybe to keep your like Napoleonic crap army into 1862 and fix your economy first. Because in vanilla, you can basically crush the enemy with superior weaponry. This is less the case with the modified weapon stats in this mod. And that is excellent. I feel, whether it's realistic or not, or historical or not, game balance wise and fun wise, that's an excellent design. So I really recommend the mod due to that. I want to give you an example since I talk so much about it. This video is not about weapon comparison. I mentioned it before in once. Here's a rifle musket that we introduced 50,000 new ones, and we had a few from before the war. I couldn't tell you how many exactly, but it has a range of 292 yards. In vanilla, it's 400. It has a bit better reload though. 3.1 to I think 3 in vanilla. Mediocre accuracy. Can't remember if that's the same, but let's see if I can find some muskets. Here's the muskets. 256 yards. So what I'm saying is you only have 20% more range. In vanilla, it's 250. So instead of a 150-yard range difference from the muskets to the rifle muskets, which is insane. You can start firing 150 yards before the musket-equipped enemy can start firing you. Here, we're talking 56 minus 92. What is it exactly? My math is so great. Like 40 yards difference. That's what you get, 40 yards. And in a tactical battle, you can handle that. You can advance 40 yards under fire and start firing on an enemy. So being equipped with muskets isn't the end of the world in this mod. It is, however, in vanilla. Also, rate of fire is lower. Accuracy here is poor instead of mediocre. So sure, they are better. They are way better. But not as much. We're almost up to half an hour here, and I think I said enough here. I hope 20% more tariffs is gonna take care of that surplus. I don't plan to invest in anything during early 1862. No navy, no buildings, no economy, no recruitments, no new weapons. Well, sharp rifles. I'll buy sharp rifles as much as I can afford. But I need to get my economy stabilized during the first half of 1862. Long term, my goal is to sit and defend whatever I have and try to build up an army and make an amphibious invasion. I feel like New Orleans should be my 1862 goal. I need to try to prioritize that. With equal numbers in the field of armies, I should be able to stop the Confederates from an early spring 1862 offensive anywhere. Oh, interesting. Yeah, you've seen the army of Central Kentucky here, 10,000 men, right? We do have a 10,000 man army facing them. They popped up into these forests here for just a tiny brief moment, and I was like, huh, what the hell are they doing over there? But that was probably a graphical glitch, and they are down here in the Hartford the depot. Don't know why they're having that depot so far away from Hartford, but we're not gonna discuss that now, are we? And you can, I think it's fairly safe to say that the AI-controlled Confederacy's economy is in even worse shape than what the Union is. Long term, I mean, the Union must come up on top, no matter how badly you manage it. I mean, how are they going to afford the same size of army as the Union? Okay. I find, to summarize, I find the economy fun. This is a fun part of the game, although hard to approach and hard to understand. I wish it was more transparent. I wish the manual was better. I wish the tooltips explained better. I guess with experience, which is I'm trying to gain here and share a bit on YouTube, you will understand the system a bit more, although I don't think you fully can understand this. It is a weird game because it feels so untransparent, obscured. I still like it. Alright, see you in the next one. Bye.